Welcome. You're looking live at the Quarantine Life. I am Mandy Jones, and I'm sitting next to my husband, Glenn. Typically, I'm on a show called Three's Company Radio Show. It's every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30, GovsRadio.com. With two other comedians. I'm a comedian myself, and I do a show with Bonnie Scalisi and Tony Landolfi on Wednesday nights on Govs Radio. Since we've been quarantined, Govs Radio has done a new show called The Quarantine Life, and here we are doing our episode. Different hosts from Govs Radio go live, and they tell us what's going on in their life. Bonnie was on Easter Sunday with her two boys. They were making an Easter basket and hanging out. And my husband is reminding me that I should share this because I am getting to... Oh, here we are. We are live, guys. I'm going to share it to my page so we have it. All right, cool. Good stuff. All right, yeah, so we're here to tell you guys what's been up with us. We don't want to talk about the virus for an hour because when you go to Facebook, that's all anybody's talking about. People are nervous, people are joking. There's so much misinformation. So we're going to try to not talk about it for an hour. You want to say hi, babe?
Yeah, hi.
It's hard for him to get a word in edgewise. I am the more talkative one in the relationship. We've been married since February of 2018. Look, that foul. I told you, sound off and volume off. We've been married since February 2018, but we've been together since 2009. So we're going on 11 years. So being quarantined is nothing new. Feeling trapped with another human being is nothing new. But we wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things, what we've been up to and some ideas for what you guys could be doing. First thing we wanted to talk about are some hobbies that we've been getting into. You want to start, babe, with what you've been up to?
Well, I'm an essential worker. So.
All right, let's start there. He's not on a staycation.
Yeah, so
he's on the front line.
I still slowed down for a week and a half and, did the quarantine thing, but now I'm, back to the regular grind. But, we've been cooking a lot and going through different things.
I know. Well, we bought this.
Writing.
Yep. Well, that's good because I've been, I try to write when I try to write comedy and be funny. But Glenn's not Glenn's hilarious, but he's not a comedian. And one of the things we've both found solace in is writing, like, almost just to vent. He writes poetry because he's like, it's just too dark if it's not poetry sometimes when you're feeling angsty. But we do a lot of journaling and writing just because to put it down on paper and get it out into the universe is definitely helpful. So people who are stuck with their families, or you're stuck at home and you just have stuff going on in your mind, even if you start writing, fuck, I wish I could go out, I miss my friends, it's like praying, it's like giving it up to the universe. So writing is definitely an outlet that's super cheap, that everybody should be doing right now, because people are saying that you shouldn't be looking inward for this, that this is like just a survival measure, and it's not. Guys, there's a new normal. There's a cultural shift going on, so you have to find out what makes you tick and what makes you happy, because the world's changing, so you might have a new role now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been working pretty much, like I said, for all but a week and a half. It's a lot of hand washing, cross-contamination. Like, gloves are no good if you touch stuff that you're going to eventually be touching to your face. Like, it's a matter of education. The mask, don't touch your mask. Like, it's part of learning to not touch your face. I happen to work in an industry that I should be wearing a mask anyway, so
I know.
It's not really a big step.
I know. Well, I looked outside the window today and I saw a guy mowing his lawn. I said, oh, that's funny. He's got a mask on. He's mowing his lawn. Like, you'd think he's outside by himself. He doesn't need to wear a mask. And Glenn's like, no, actually, like, you should be wearing a mask without COVID-19 when you're mowing a lawn, just because the amount of particulate matter, that's really not good for your lungs. So a lot of this stuff that we're learning with the virus is stuff that is just good for us in general as a people, because everyone's saying it's going to go away, but what happens when the next thing or the next strand of it or next year when we get sick again, next flu season? We just have to be prepared now, because everyone wants to see their friends and everyone wants to get back to normalcy, but we have to take precautionary measures. We're taking this thing seriously while we're joking around.
And honestly, in groups, it's like someone should take charge. And like on my crew, I've been, the hand washing Nazi. Like
I know.
Handle washing. Like I 3 times a day, I wash my truck handles. I wash the handles of anywhere where I'm working, and I prop doors so you don't have to open the doors.
Yeah, I know.
Like, the less things you have to touch, the better. Wash it. I bleach my truck down. That's where I eat my lunch. Time to remove your mask and be in your own safe space. It's possible to be in a certain amount of public, still social distance, still essential operations, but being safe.
Oh, Bruno, thanks. Bonnie, Mandy dolled up here for herself and her husband. She needs to step it up for your show. Bruno, I tried to put on my best attire.
And no mask.
Oh, no mask. That's what's so beautiful. You can see my face. Oh, my God. So Bruno's watching. Kayla Bruno. We love you, Kayla. Oh, my God. We miss you so much. John Melandro, that was my teacher in fucking high school, who I love. Robin DeVito. She loves the smell of fresh cut grass in the morning. I'm with you, Robin. Bill Hansen, Jack Prince, all our fucking people, guys. Love that you guys are tuning in with us. So yeah, we didn't want to talk about COVID the whole time, but we did want to say some hobbies. So writing is a good one. Gardening. Glenn and I bought a house in December, so it's kind of cool is now that everything's like thawing, I'm like behind my fucking shed raking and throwing out old kickballs, so we're kind of like exploring in our own
putting the house together how it should be. Like everything got kind of just dumped.
Exactly. I wouldn't have gardened. I don't think I would have been pulling weeds in the garden bed.
We wouldn't have had time for a lot of the stuff we've been doing.
And it's investing in ourselves.
Because even though I am essential, like it still is affecting my hours, and everything's just taking a slower pace of life, and we're learning that we don't need as much as we usually consume,
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to go back.
I know. Well, it's going to be weird. It's Glenn's birthday on Monday, 420, woot woot. Shares a birthday with, Nancy Rizzuto's 421, and Terry's 420 also. And it's kind of weird. I said to Terry, are you doing a funeral procession or are you doing a Zoom party for your birthday? He's like, yeah, I'm getting drunk on the couch, because it's kind of weird. Me and Glenn would have, been at some sort of music venue or something.
Tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, we probably would have been having a big bash here at the house. But due to this whole thing, everyone's hunkered down, and we're just really happy. I mean, a bunch of my friends I've been talking to every day that like me and Olivia, my one friend, we've been checking on each other every day, and it's bringing some of us closer in a way and we've already been set up to be on this virtual fucking thing anyways. We've all been ready to go with this before COVID, with the FaceTime and all this stuff, Can you imagine not having these kind of tools? I mean...
Yeah, the telephone. I just do the telephone, but
Can you imagine not having the telephone?
Yeah, I mean,
we'd be Morse coding people.
Or not having electricity for this long.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, we did Sandy together, Hurricane Sandy. That was fun.
Thank God for a gas stove.
Yeah, dude, guys, 12 days we lived together with no fucking with boiling water to fucking. I was gonna say like we're the Partridge Family. What is it? What are the ones? The Little House on the Prairie.
Oh God.
So we're thankful that we're not doing that. But one of the things we wanted to talk about is Glenn is a Eagle Scout, and for those of you that don't know what that means, which I had no idea what that meant before I met Glenn, that's like the highest ranking of Eagle Scout, and he's going to correct me right now because there are higher levels. They're like more stars.
Yeah.
But you
no one else knows no one else other than Boy Scouts know what that is.
It's null and void.
I barely made it. they like pulled strings to have me submit it on like the 19th when my birthday is the 20th. Like I barely made it, but
either way,
either way, I use more of that stuff in my day-to-day life than I probably use of my college education. But
no, seriously. I mean, they taught him. I wish they taught me some of the stuff in grammar school. Like one of the things he told me when we first got together, he was like, "Yeah, if you're ever in distress, like if you're ever stuck in the woods, what you're supposed to do is like you take piles of stones and leave them in like triangles, like because groups of 3 people."
The whole idea is to not leave a very far perimeter. You're setting markers, which he's saying groups of 3.
And that's so if somebody pulls up on it or drives...
They know you're in a vicinity.
Yeah, they're like, all right, that's like a sign of distress. That's not just like a normal thing. Don't just do like a breadcrumb of like three piles as you go out into the...
And keep moving around. The whole idea is, people should know where you are. And you should be telling people when you're going off into the woods. And someone will be looking for you, so... hunker down and leave markers, but I think more of like the stuff that's from the Scouts right now was like hobbies, different skills.
Yeah, like
we've been cooking a lot.
I know. Well, that was great. I mean, Glenn's grandfather was a chef in the Navy, so he ran a tight ship. And Glenn is just really. I mean, I'm Irish, so like. I came with no cooking skills when I married him, and
she reboiled a lasagna yesterday.
Well, I didn't boil it the first time. I literally, guys, I made a lasagna, and we always are very persistent in this house about buying the pre-cooked noodles because who the fuck wants to boil lasagna noodles before you have?
It's probably my fault. COVID. So I hate to say it, but
blaming COVID, okay? Typical.
It's the reason they were the only ones on the shelf, and I didn't read them. So.
All right, so I make a lasagna, and it's all beautiful. I've got the ricotta, and I've got everything all nice and even. And just as I'm about to open the mozzarella for the top layer, I see in my peripheral fucking cooking instructions on the noodles. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to literally, thankfully I have a tray that's like also like another casserole tray. So I literally boil new pasta. Now a new layer, I'm literally taking each fucking other layer of the uncooked one that should have been boiled, moving them over, make the lasagna. Glenn walks in. He's like, why didn't you do it in my grandmother's nice tray? I'm like, I did do it in your grandmother's nice tray, and you didn't buy pre-cooked pasta. He was like, that wasn't me. That must have been pasta you bought. I never bought that pasta. Like, there's no. Now he's saying that it was COVID.
She was convinced. I believe her. Like, I'll take the L on that one,
Well, thank God I didn't fucking bake it, because that would have been a crunchy ass lasagna.
Yeah, I don't know how that would be. Maybe it would be something different. Like
maybe I would have broke some kind of world record, and it would have been the best thing. But my cooking. Glenn said I'm getting better with the rebound, because I really could have ruined that one. That could have been really nasty. And
when we met. You put a frozen pizza in the oven upside down, so...
They shouldn't have had the cardboard on top of the cheese. That's fucking atrocious. I opened it up and saw the cardboard, so just fucking, cardboard should be on the bottom. Cheese down, fucking just turn the oven on, go chill for fucking 45 minutes. Cheese just all through the, but we laugh. We gotta laugh about this stuff. One of Glenn's buddies at work, he had bought a whittling kit from Amazon.
Yeah, trying to do a hobby. And my response to it was, kind of going with the COVID. And when we were Cub Scouts, 7, 8 years old, instead of having us carve wood, because you could slip, cut yourself, we would carve soap because it's very soft.
Yeah,
and you could reuse the soap shavings, in a dish. Like it's not really a waste. It's
Yeah.
You got kids, give them a knife and bar of soap.
Seriously, because I fucking to this day I make him nervous with a fucking knife. God. I have cut myself recently. I cut my hand the other day and I was like, I'm such a fucking idiot because thank God I'm okay, because if that was bad, I can't go to the ER right now for stitches. That's so fucking stupid. So yeah, if you guys have young kids, you should, like Glenn said, sit them down with the proper knife and a tool and slowly, start learning how to work.
Give them an idea. Teddy bear was a common one.
Or Santa was what your friend was doing.
Santa Claus.
And he actually gave his friend the idea. He goes, oh, did you keep the long part on it while you whittled it, or did you cut it down right away? He goes, oh, no, I didn't even think of that. Like, if you're whittling something, you keep it long, and then at the very end, you cut the handle off. But whittling brought us to a funny story.
That neither of us really, I don't know if we blocked it out or, until we started reminiscing on
what to talk about with you guys. All right, so let's preface this story with saying, when I do stand-up comedy, I do not drink alcohol. You see me and Bonnie will drink wine on this show. I'm drinking some vodka out of this mug. But when I do stand-up comedy, I do not drink. And if my husband's not going to be there, I won't drink after I perform either, because I have to drive myself home. So we went to, I performed, and then you met up with me just for the end, but I was sober, and Glenn had just worked a night shift. So we are dead sober, and we're about to leave the comedy club, and he goes, oh, fuck, your tire is low. That tire needs air. I'm going to follow you to a gas station, and we're going to air up that tire.
But we need to do this immediately, and we were all the way far on the North Shore, so the closest gas station was closed. But the air still works. But another screw up by me. You beat me to the gas station.
Yeah,
and I popped out of the car, and she pulled up, and I locked my keys in the truck.
So now he's locked out of the car.
And then she's digging through her change tray.
I start to, and I've got $1.25, and he's locked out. We need $1.50 to put air in my tire. We need $1.25. He's got quarters in his fucking locked truck. And I'm saying to him, well, why don't, so this is where we get to whittling. He's now taken a branch off of a tree. It's still green, so it was a pretty limber.
Well, that was the whole point, was I was making a wedge to wedge the door open, and I had a thin stick that I was going to hit the unlock button with.
So he's whittling a tool to unlock the car. And the whole time he's working on this plan, I'm saying, why don't I just drive home? Babe, by the time I drive home...
And not very long into it. So you asked to drive home, and I'm like, by the time you drive, you can't drive home on that tire. It's basically flat. You shouldn't have driven here on the tire.
But I'm already giving up on his whittling job.
Yeah, no, she's like, this looks ridiculous.
This is a lost cause.
And I'm like, well, you're going to crash driving home on that tire. So she's like, fine, I'm walking to the gas station down the street.
I said, there's got to be a quarter between here and there. So I start walking down Jericho Turnpike. If you're from Long Island, that's a major road. And I start walking to the next gas station. That's literally not very far, because Long Island, there's a gas station every fucking time you blink. So I start walking to their air machine. I also had $1 thinking that they might be open. They're closed also. So I go to their change machine. I go around their air thing, and I find a quarter. Or I think it might have been near their vacuum. But anyways, I find the cord, get back. We air up my tire. I take the now aired up, ready to go, get the keys, come back. I think you drove with me. We left truck.
What it is we were locked in, so we filled the tire up when she got back, and we both got in the car, because I was nearly there. I was a little frustrated, and to say the least. Because it was my fault. It's extra frustrating when you know you screwed up.
Yeah, and I'm like, you really just shouldn't be whittling a branch. I could just and then I was offering an Uber. He's like, no, we're not. These are all bad.
That was before you got the quarter. That's before you walked.
Yeah, well, that was before I had the quarter. I was ready to do a lot of other.
But yeah, we got the quarter, we got in the car, we actually got pulled over on the way home. Mandy isn't sure that happened, but I'm nearly sure that happened. Now, we got pulled over for something. We didn't get a ticket, but we definitely got pulled over, and a second cop came, because I remember being like...
I remember this.
We are screwed. I don't have any idea what we did, but I was like... Once the second cop shows up, you're in trouble usually.
Yeah, and we didn't even get a ticket. I don't know if it was. I don't remember.
I don't know what it was.
We repressed the memory. It's so fucking stupid. But you can whittle a branch to open or you could try.
Well, if I had a piece of wire, we would have been in the car in 5 seconds. It was a matter of
I wouldn't have even known it happened.
if I had a pocket knife and nothing else.
He didn't have the right tools.
But we started talking about different things, and I was like, well, that's like the story of my first knife. It didn't really work out so well.
And I go, oh, that's when you gave it to your friend and he cut his hand, right? He goes, no, that was my first saw.
Yeah, my good friend. I'm a young kid. My parents let me have a saw, hand wood saw, and I didn't think anything of. I was building a fort with my friend. I didn't think anything of leaving that saw with him. We were probably like 10 years old.
It was mine. He could borrow it.
Maybe 8. He goes to take a branch like this. Anybody that's used a saw and takes the saw like this and holds the branch and proceeds to slip and mutilate his hand with a and get a bunch of stitches. I got in trouble because my mom's like, why'd you let him like have the saw? And I was like, I didn't think anything of it,
Yeah, like I know how to use it. Like I know not to cut my hand open.
Yeah, I know not to do that, but like, I guess I'm not the best teacher with that. But I was talking about my first knife, which was I had a little X-Acto knife about this big with a retractable blade, and I snapped the blade off of it and ran it across my hand. And then we were just. Reminiscing about.
Well, you said your mom got mad, right, at your dad.
Yeah, because like I was pretty young. I don't remember exactly how old, but
like really,
probably like 5 or 6. Like probably a little more supervision, but I still use tools to this day. Still have bit myself with tools to this day.
Oh, wow.
There's always a slip. There's always a broken blade. There's
wear
safety goggles. Like they're not.
Hurting yourself is just part of life. I mean, my mom and dad, they were married for 16 years and are divorced, and my mom's remarried. And my mom, now that I'm a comedian, she's like going into the archives of her brain and digging up, like when she thinks of a funny story, she'll call me and tell me about it. And she goes, I have to tell you something story that she had, like, the story with us not having 25 cents, like, just repressed it for whatever reason. So my parents, I was 1 year old and my sister was like 5. And my dad loves tooling around with motorcycles and bikes and cars. He's a motorhead. His grease runs in his veins. So they had a little yellow Bug at the time. That was like the family car. And my dad wanted my mom to help him get his dirt bike, illegal, like, street dirt bike going. He's like
trying to pop the clutch, probably.
Yeah, I guess. So he's like, all right, I'm going to tie a rope to the Bug, the bumper of the Bug. You're going to put the kids in the car with you, and you're going to, like, pick up Steven. And my mom's like, I don't know, this doesn't really, like, my mom is, like, such a safety nut, probably from this kind of stuff. Yeah. But she was like, I don't think this is a good idea. But my dad's like, come on, don't be a pussy, like, whatever. I gotta get this fucking bike running. Like, this is my Sunday, like, whatever. Yeah. So she's got me in the car seat. My sister's 5, 4. You don't have a car seat at that age in the fucking 80s or 90, 91, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, now kids are in car seats till they're like 14. It's like
you buy a car seat when they're born, and it keeps just like getting bigger.
Like, I was learning to drive a stick shift, and most kids are getting out of a car seat now.
Yeah, because that's a whole different story. But anyway, so my mom starts towing my dad with the bike, and it's, she starts picking up speed and he's on the bike, and then she doesn't see him and just fucking down. And so she stops. He is covered head to toe in road rash. I'm like, well, how far did you even get? She's like, not even like down the block, like not very far.
Well, anyone that's I'm assuming he's popping the clutch, knows that you get jerked a little bit when it happens.
Yeah.
So he probably got tossed. He was probably holding the rope. It's because, like, I don't, I assume that's how he's doing, or he's getting tied to his bike. But either way,
I need to weigh him.
She would have been dragging the bike if he just fell off it. So I assume he was holding it, so he's one-handed.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like that. I thought the bike was.
Once he comes off the bike, the bike would be getting dragged.
Oh, like that. Well, that's what I didn't understand. Oh, okay. So he was.
So it makes sense why he fell. I mean,
because he fucking whatever. So he falls. And my mom was so pissed because she's like, oh my God, this is like the father to my kids now. He's going to be fucking like a paraplegic. And so she gets out of the car and she said, I didn't even think about it. And she just says to him, she's like, you're going to end up in a wheelchair and I'm not pushing you. And my dad had to fucking walk his bike back home. And she drove back with the
she said they didn't make it very far. So
well, that's what she said. She's like, they didn't even make it down the block. I'm like, how far did you get? But I gotta ask my dad about that story because
that's when we should hear the other side of, because I'm just assuming he was popping the clutch, like.
Who knows what the fuck he was doing?
Who knows what was going on, like.
Who knows what else he tried
with
before
motorcycles,
that? Like. Robin DeVito, Mandy says, Mandy, you could have left the raw noodles. They still would have cooked. Besides, she is so cute. Good to know, Robin. I wasted a box of noodles. Greg DeFlippo, holy shit. Bonnie grew her hair and cut her hair and grew a beard. That's at you, babe.
Yeah. And Bruno listed the ranks of the Boy Scouts. Yes, those are all the ones I had. But if you continue, you only need a certain number of merit badges for Eagle Scout. You could continue to get merit badges. Like, there was kids that got it young and still wanted to continue doing it. There's like, I don't know, 200 merit badges or something. There's gold palm, which I'm not sure the order. I'm pretty sure it goes bronze, silver, gold palm, and that's where the number of merit badges past Eagle Scout you get. And that's what Mandy was talking about. When I didn't achieve the highest rank, it's, sounds even dorkier saying it out loud, but like, I did learn a lot of skills in the Boy Scouts, like,
Yeah, no, you had a ton of stuff that I'm like, wait, why did they teach me that? Like, just very basic stuff. Like, you're always like, he goes to work with a fucking clean white t-shirt, pair of underwear, bar of soap. Like, not that he plans on shitting his pants every day, but just like, God forbid you get stranded or you're overnight somewhere.
I will always have a pair of underwear on me, not because of shitting my pants. In the Boy Scouts, I was backpacking. I didn't have enough pairs of underwear. It rained for one pair, and those were wet. And then I proceeded to fall in a stream and wear gym shorts for a 5-mile hike home.
Oh my god!
Under my jeans, wet jeans.
Oh, that is.
I chafed so horribly.
Yeah.
That it'll make you carry underwear for the rest of your life. And dry socks. I'm sorry, even putting wet clothes back over them, it's better.
Once I take a pair of socks off, they're done. Like the elastic, they're done. I'm sorry, I can wear a pair of socks for like 2 seconds and they're fucking done.
James J. Bana, are they twins? We had twice in one day. We got asked if we were brother and sister.
No, James was watching the embarrassing tales, so I think he's doing a callback because James actually was like, "Did she just say Pollock?" Because Ed Verbinski signed on. I'm like, "Hey Ed, the Pollock," because that's how he identifies himself.
Well, that's funny because my grandfather said he was Polish for his entire life. Got made fun of in the military his entire life for being Polish. Turns out that. When he did an Ancestry.com when he was,
80.
Late
70s, yeah.
Late 70s, he found out he was not Polish at all, like zero Polish.
Took the beating of a Pollock his entire life.
Painted the lower part of trees white.
Like hardcore Pollock.
The whole deal. But,
yeah, that's something. Taking some cultural abuse that you don't even deserve. That's something.
Self-assigned.
Yeah, dude. But no, another thing with like the Scouts, we were talking about, Glenn has just always been, and I guess just your parents giving you tools, like when you were younger, he's just always been someone who builds and tries, he's a carpenter now, builds and stuff, and we were also talking about, when he was a kid, he would search the internet and get ideas about all this stuff, and then he would bring his mom, like, yo, bring me to Home Depot, and they would go, and she would buy whatever he wanted. So the one time he was making a potato launcher, and he of course doesn't tell her, like, Mom, I'm making a fucking cannon potato launcher. He's just like, Mom, can we go to the Home Depot or wherever?
We need to go to the plumbing section.
So they buy everything, and his mom is just like...
We're checking out, and the lady at, I think it was actually Lowe's, but she says, do you know what he's building? And my mom's like... No clue. Like, what's he building?
Like, are you okay with this?
And she's like, a potato gun. So, My mom, it sounds pretty, harmless or like not really crazy, I guess. Like, but it was Easter actually. I had finished this thing, looked up all like proper plans for volumes of it and everything,
like ratios.
Just trying to make it go as far as possible, and I proceeded to take my entire family out of Easter dinner to show them this thing. And I let it off, and it goes. And my mom was like, "That's what you were building." Like that, like I was like freaked out a little bit, and like.
And thank God you're upstate, because if a kid down here did that, they would have fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, that, and we were laughing because she was like, "Well, it sounds dangerous," and I was like, "Well, the second one is the one that blew up." I tried to make...
Well, first of all, the first one had nothing wrong with it. I was just trying to make a second, more powerful model. That's what made me laugh. But tell me what happened with the second one.
Being like a 13-year-old kid...
Needing more power and more strength. Feeling the fire and wanting to get it.
And getting yelled at constantly about stealing hairspray.
You needed a new fuel.
So we went. I tried to go to air power, but no one explained to me the difference between drain waste vent pipe and like pressurized PVC or like PVC primer, like.
So he was like dabbling in explosives, but didn't exactly know.
Or like how much I could put in it. But
I mean, and you would think the air chamber was safer than the aerosol can. You would think.
You'd think a non-explosion would be better, but the thing blew up like pretty crazy, and there's still a dent in my dad's garage door from it. Like Mandy was like, "What happened?" I was like, "It dented the hell out of the garage door."
You're lucky you didn't get hurt.
I'm lucky I wasn't standing behind it. That thing popped the opposite direction. The whole back end blew off.
Well, and you had said it was like, it wasn't a gun. Like, you're like, oh, he found like a golf cart that he put it on. Like, it was like a cannon. Like, it wasn't even just like a gun that you were holding. So thank God you weren't fucking behind the thing. What are people saying? Bonnie's having a private conversation.
I don't know.
Every time Mandy says, "Fuck, please drink," Bruno, you fuck. Boy Scout skills paying off. They do, Greg, to flip. I live with a fucking...
Polak means Jew? I've never heard that before, ever. I thought it meant you're from Poland.
No, Polak is a Polish person.
They're Polish Jews, but
yeah, it does. It's not one and the same. They're not mutually exclusive, but they're not exclusive.
We're doing some logic problems. If then.
Another thing that you made that made me laugh was when your mom was telling me you made an attaché case for your gun, and I had never even heard the word attaché.
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 Mm-hmm. I wanted foam. I wanted foam and a hot wire. I made a hot wire cutter. I wanted to like specifically.
Like bond, like you wanted it to
like
open it.
I wanted it to be cut perfectly, like you saw something in like James Bond or something.
That's why I said bond, like James Bond.
Bond.
Yeah.
I thought you meant bond the foam.
Bond what?
Like glue the foam.
Oh no, bond. Like 007. Yeah, so that's how I learned the word attaché.
And my mom likes it because I was, a young kid, and that was the term that I used for it. I probably heard it.
That's what you and your grandmother and your mother call it. They have a lot. They're like very proper and have words that I'm like, well, what's that? Like, my family just called it a fucking. I don't know. Like everyone was making fun of me online yesterday when I was saying the box of noodles. They were like, "You're so Irish, noodles." I was like, "What is it supposed to be?" And I'm like, "Oh, pasta." And they were like, "Or lasagna." Like. But I embrace our differences. I mean, I joke that I'm an Irish girl that can't cook, and there's nothing wrong with stereotypes.
Sometimes you just boil everything.
When in doubt, boil it. Well, Michael told Bonnie that she was boiling eggs wrong. I go, she probably was.
Well, it's all the boiled egg thing is how you like it. Like some people like the soft center. Like I don't know what anarchy that is.
Well, what we figured out is this is the perfect way to hard boil an egg. You put the eggs in cold water, bring them all to a boil for like what, 15 minutes?
I
on the longer side.
Long time. And then the trick is to put them directly into ice water.
Yeah,
and peel them once they cool off because they'll shrink inside the shell. And it's like how you get like the food service perfectly peeled eggs.
Yeah, because if you don't wait for that water to get cold when you try to peel them, that fucking layer in between stays, that little layer under the shell. But yeah, that's quarantine 101. You got to be able to boil an egg. I've been getting better in the kitchen though, babe. I think I've been impressing you a little bit.
Well, we've been cooking a lot. She's always been able to bake.
Yeah, I can
follow. It's not about follow directions. It's about looking at stuff and like the feel of stuff and having it come out at the right times for cooking like a meal. But her baking is awesome. We've been baking a lot.
I'm actually going to be doing some baking this weekend. I was thinking I'm going to make your oatmeal raisin cookies for your birthday.
Okay.
I was like, because Olivia's like, I'm starting to diet today. I'm like, we got to overeat. It's Glenn's birthday this weekend.
We haven't been doing too bad. I've only eaten since quarantine one meal that we haven't prepared.
I know. You were like, I went to Wendy's the other day. I was like, you cheating whore.
I was screwed. I didn't have any food. We kind
of. You know what I would do for fast food? I'm like such a fast food whore, and he hates
hate it. Like it was literally out of necessity for sustenance at work, and it was something that was open and fast, and I, could not work. Didn't have to wear a mask to pick it up.
What? Wait, babe, we got some oldie but goodies. Sebastian Stryker, Rob Waltenberger. Holy shit! University Stony Brook days.
Oh, yeah.
Those are our
the rugby team. That's how we met.
Ruggers. That's how we met. Glenn was on the rugby team, and I was a manager of the rugby team. What else did we want to talk about? Oh, well, one thing that was something that Glenn does anyways, and something that we kind of do anyways, which is good for people that, you guys everyone's locked up and trying to find new shit. We're huge music people, and Glenn's a really big hip-hop fan, and one of the things that he started doing, this is probably, within the last year, 2 years?
WhoSampledIt.com.
WhoSampledIt.com. You put in a song and you could see where all these samples, and you start just going back until you're listening to all just Sammy Davis and Sam Cooke. And another thing I thought of, if you don't want to do the sample thing, like maybe you're into like emo music or metal or something that doesn't use samples, you could literally Google, you like Nirvana, who was Kurt Cobain inspired by? Oh, you like Red Hot Chili Peppers, who were the Red Hot Chili Peppers inspired by? And just fucking work your way back in time. Because music is such a great distraction. Because me and him have been putting on music more than TV, because TV is just... we're so bored. I mean, we finished Tiger King, so what else is there to watch? I mean, I think we maxed out the fucking... we've watched everything. I mean, we're going through The Simpsons, which never gets old. I love The Simpsons because I could be upstairs, not even watching it, just listening to it, and you still catch the jokes. Yeah. Like, that's what's great.
Or remember the, premise or whatever.
Yeah, I know. You were watching the monorail one the other day. It's put Springfield on the map. Like, just such a great episode. But yeah, that kind of stuff, guys. Like, also, if you were a Spotify, I mean, I pay like $7 a month for Spotify, but even if you don't, they have... like, if you like a song, if you just are listening to a single song, you can make an entire radio based on that song. So you'll end up, the first 5 songs might be new songs that then you could create radios off of, and just, I like this song, then you go into that band, and then who's that band inspired by? It's like endless, guys. Music is so therapeutic. So I thoroughly encourage you to engage. And if you're watching us on the internet, you obviously have it. You could YouTube, and a lot of shit's on the internet. A lot of music is free.
And YouTube, you could learn how to do pretty much anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, for a while that was another thing. I mean, Glenn does our brake changes. Glenn does oil changes on our car.
Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore, but you used to, and those are things that, like, hey guys, you want to be a man's man? You wanna get some stuff done?
And just a curb and a wrench.
Yeah.
And, a bucket. You could do an oil change on your car.
Yeah, and you could, if you want to kill your wife, just do a faulty brake job and no one will know. Yeah, be the wiser. I'm always talking about Glenn and I, like, if, like, we're in, like, not, like, a murder trial, but if there's ever, like, some sort of domestic thing where we're, like, in trial together, he's like, I would just kill you. Like, you wouldn't be, like, testifying. Like, why do you always think you're gonna, like, have a say? Don't get embarrassed. That's normal, babe. That's completely normal. Glenn wanted to know, are any of the Department of Sanitation workers alive?
Well, I was just saying that, like, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are essential workers that I see all day hustling. UPS pulled up to one another today and unloaded a bunch of stuff from one truck to another in front of our house. Like, these guys are out there hustling. I'm interested in these industries that have sped up, what their infection rate's like, what they're doing to be safe. I know, you know, we said before, I'm the hand-washing Nazi at work, or at least the handle-washing Nazi. Always have been OCD with the hand-washing thing.
You want to tell the story about our honeymoon?
Well, we were in Montauk for our honeymoon, which was, you know, spur of the moment. We kind of like eloped by ourselves to, you know,
stick it to the man.
Just do our own thing, and you know, we end up in Montauk at this bar, and a kid watches me wash my hands, and he's like, "Where are you from?"
No, he says, "You're not from around here."
Oh, you're not from around here, and I was.
Like,
I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but I guess it's like I do like specifically actually wash my hands. Now we've all like properly learned hand washing techniques, and now you can be a dick about people not washing their hands. I'll place our odds on these two fighting. Mandy likes to wrestle every once in a while. She like every once in a while. I was a tournament wrestler in high school.
And he's twice my size.
And so she'll shoot a shot every once in a while. And
I got a low center of gravity, which is good.
Jokingly, in our old apartment, she shot in, and I kind of like grabbed her to like just kind of like hold her up, and her feet fell out from under her, and she sat on the table, and the table completely broke. It was like a pedestal table. I felt so bad. Everything fell off the table.
Me through a table is what happened. I laughed. We were laughing
hysterically during because it really was. It was.
I don't even know how. Like, I'm not that heavy. Like, the table shouldn't have fallen apart.
Well, and then I was trying to hold her up, and because like how I tried to hold her up, we both like I don't know.
I'm also like a complete spaz, so like I'll be like, oh, let's play wrestle, and then I like spaz out, and he actually has to like control me. Like, it gets to like now you're actually like a threat. But not.
It's just a reaction to a certain extent. Like it's not. You just shoot in on me. It's just, and especially how you do. Like you put all your weight at me. It's my reaction is to like, you know, ole. And it so happened that she, you know, I dodged the bull and she went through the table.
We have more room now, though, in the meditation room upstairs. We have enough room to sprawl out in there a little bit. So we do some stuff. We do some what is it? Wait, what is it when the dad says when you didn't take the advance? What is it, like the wrestling dad, like, oh, I took the takedown, but you didn't like advance on the.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Either way. Bruno asked if we have a marriage license. We don't. We have a lawyer, and I'm not going to the courthouse, but we have a living will.
Living will, power of attorney, and
healthcare
proxy. So basically, he dies. Anything I could sign anything for him. Basically, everything except have to give the money.
And it's not true that there's a tax benefit to get married. We both have jobs. Neither of us are dependent. The only way it's beneficial to get married if one of you are a dependent.
Yeah, and I'm not dependent. I'm sorry.
I
make enough money that I'm not a dependent on him. We wouldn't have gotten a check.
But we don't see a difference.
There is no difference.
There isn't a difference. We tried to get a marriage license, and they said my birth certificate was fake, which it was just old, and the stamp wasn't very good. They
were like illegal.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, honestly, it was not like she dragged me there, but I was like really upset to be going to like the DMV to profess my love. Like I was like,
it's not the DMV,
but it's a government building. It's basically the DMV.
Yeah, it's really not. It's not romantic at all. And then the whole time we were there, the couple next to us, she's like, "Can you believe it? This is my 5th marriage. They want all 4 of my marriage certificates before this." She's like, "I burn them every time I marry somebody new." She's like, "What do I need a new one for?"
I need the old marriage certificate for
but the new they really wanted like every one of her marriages.
And she ended up getting helped out. They gave her, they were like,
But it was also like her 4th trip there. Like it was not like she. Yeah, we're like, she's like, "I burned them after I divorced them. You kidding me?" I'm like, well, I get that. That should be fun. Like, but you got to keep like a file of all your marriages for every time you want to go marry somebody.
God, like.
Yeah, like, first I was Zerbinski, then I went to Jones, now I'm Zorobitz, now, I don't even know whose last names I just used. Thanks, guys. We're super thankful to not have kids in quarantine. I am working from home remotely, and I'm happy that I'm not a teacher right now. That would have fucking
We
sucked.
aren't working remotely. You're remotely essential.
I said I'm remotely essential.
I said we.
I'm working from home. But no, thankfully, I'm not I don't have kids right now. Me and Glenn could starve to death. That's fine. You can't fucking starve a kid out. That's abuse.
It's not even that. It's just entertaining a kid that doesn't have their own interests already. Like, you could try 100 out and the kid might still be bored and annoying. Like,
yeah, I think we're getting to the point where we're thinking the point of this cultural shift, this whole gotta slow down, the bigger picture thing is you gotta learn to self-soothe. It's like leaving a baby to cry by itself. Like, it's gotta learn to self-soothe. And usually we use distractions. We go out to work, we go to the bar, you go wherever to take your comedy show, to take your mind off things. But right now, you can't go out. You're just stuck with your thoughts. So you have to be creative and write poetry, or you have to learn to meditate, or you have to garden, or you have to do something to get away from yourself, because
it's not necessarily away from yourself.
Not away
it's
from
just
yourself.
A matter of
healthily busy, because you don't have people right now.
Yeah, and I think we both kind of stay busy ourselves anyway.
Thank you, Govs, for letting us do this from home. I mean, this made my little Friday. I had something to look forward to last night. Glenn and I were going over some little notes that we wanted to have. Me and Bonnie still have our regular Wednesdays. We don't have Tony with us in the studio, but we have me and Bonnie here on Wednesday night. She comes to the house. We wear masks because, we're not married and we're sitting within a couple of feet of one another. But thank you to Govs, because I would be going crazy. I need my little silly time.
Well, then it breaks up our week.
It gives me something to look forward to.
It's something else. Like, you gotta, even when we were both home in quarantine, before my work came back, you still have to get up and have a day and have tasks to do. Like,
yeah.
We can't let this break us.
Yeah.
As far as just,
yeah, like
sitting around and drinking all day isn't,
yeah.
Gets old, and scrolling through Facebook. Like, there's only so much you can look at.
But you should definitely watch this show on Facebook for an hour. No, but it's true. I even find myself like, I love all my comedian friends. I love socializing on the internet, but it gets to the point where you close Facebook and then you open it back up and you're like, am I an idiot? Like, I need to pick up a book, or and I've realized I want to read, but I have all the time in the world right now and I'm not reading. So guess what? Maybe I'm not the best reader. So I can't even say I don't have enough time.
Maybe it's not the right book.
Maybe it's not the right book, because Chuck Palahniuk books I could read in like 2 days. Like, it's just,
And it's just, we've been having actual like tasks.
Yeah, no, like I said, the house having.
It's not like we're trapped inside. That's something that I don't. I see memes about like people saying not to go outside, but like it's like, I could see maybe if you live in a densely populated area, but even us on our quarter acre, it's like you're way outside of any kind of risk outdoors.
I think I'm getting more outside time now than I used to, because like my office at work doesn't have a window, so like all day you don't get to see if
it's in a like ghetto, not like the.
It's in an industrial
not
park,
a nice
so
area
it's
in
all
an industrial park.
it's nothing beautiful to look at. So I could see entire days go by where I don't even know if it's like you go into work and it's like rainy, and then like at noon, like you pass a window in the front office and you're like, oh my god, it's fucking beautiful out, and like then you come outside and it's night. Whereas when I'm here, I'm like, oh, lunch, I'm gonna sit outside and get some vitamin D and eat my little sandwich on my back porch. And breathe some fresh air, get some COVID from the people next door that are stirring it up, they're congregating way too fucking much, by the way.
Honestly, it's kind of interesting. They never had guests over, but now it seems like they had a bunch of kids out of the woodwork. Like, the kids are deciding to see their parents. Maybe there's a good
check-in for it.
Well, no, I was saying death insurance, maybe
we'll
there's
give
them COVID and we'll get some money.
Yeah,
out
there's
of
some
it.
big heritage or something. Not heritage.
I've never seen the kids.
Wait, what's the word I'm looking for? Not heritage. What do you win? What do you
win?
What do you?
Inheritance. That shows. It's weird for people to think about this. Like I've had people comment about inheritances, like,
well,
it's
yeah,
like,
that
that's
was
weird
what's
to
his
think
face
about.
was like, can't my dad just give me some of the money that he's gonna give me when he dies now? Because I could really use it now. We're like, really, like calculate your dad's like fucking finances.
Yeah, what he's gonna have left after he dies,
like that's kind of awkward.
Well, yeah, and it's just don't you want to get your own? Take care of yourself.
And don't you love your dad enough to be alive to not fucking count his fucking pesos? Like you fucking psycho. Well, that's just one man's opinion. Can you believe, baby? It's already 8:51. We got 9 minutes left. Let me just scroll into. I know Greg DeFlippo was watching. Bonnie was watching. James J. Bina, place your bet. These two fight. Who wins? James, I don't know if you're joking. He's asking Bonnie, why are you even friends with these people?
I know you're the one that watched the whole time.
I know you watched and commented the last 3 episodes, so I think you're. I think it's a train wreck that you. I think you're a supporter, James. I'm gonna go ahead.
And I never claimed to be funny.
Oh, James Dwyer thought this was headed to porn. That shirt screams porn. Ooh, this shirt. This guy. This guy. Don Sill, what up, Don Sill? Don Sill, when's my fucking main stage appearance? Let's get that get the comedy clubs open. Social distancing sex, Bruno, that's when you do it doggy style. Come on, let's get with it.
We've all seen the meme. Come on now. There's only so much scrolling you can do before it's the same shit.
Things you thought you never needed to know now. Tom Dwyer. Bonnie, I'm Polish. I'm a Polish Jew, but you can be Polish without being a Jew. Yes, thank you. I'm a Catholic Polak. Didn't stop tattoos. All right, James. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had fun watching. We had a lot of fun with this. I mean, we still got 7 minutes, but you got to get your little plug wrap ups in. I wanted to tell the story. Somebody told me a funny story the other day, and Glenn has a similar story. So one of our friends was at his grandmother's house. He's like 18 years old, and his grandma and his aunt and his cousins were there too. This is before COVID, and his grandma and aunt were like, "Oh my God, when you guys were kids, you made a time capsule, and we buried it out in Grandma's yard." This is around 2000. Like everyone was doing this. So now he's like 18, and him and his cousins are with shovels, and Grandma's in the yard, and she's like, all right, well, the time capsule is in this, like, general vicinity. And they're like, all right. So they break ground. They start digging. She goes, but be careful because there's about, like, 25 dead cats buried back here. They're like, oh, great. So, the probability of digging up a dead cat is so much higher than finding a time capsule right now. And then you say, you're like...
Well, she says that digging up a dead cat story, and I was like, I didn't think I ever said anything about that. And she's like, wait, what are you talking about? And I was like, me and my cousin, when we were kids, we were digging holes with the stick in the backyard, and she was like, let's go dig over here.
The Zema?
Yeah, we were like, I think 7 days apart or 10 days apart.
Okay, yeah, so they're like Irish twin cousins, grew up together. But go ahead. So digging with a stick.
We start digging it up.
This is in Sookie's yard?
Yeah, which is
her grandmother.
Her grandmother, very, very old house. So I don't know what we're digging up, but we find a metal box and we open it up, and
Treasure.
Next thing we know, Sookie, who, I love her. She has quite the mouth on her for now. I think 80 something year old woman.
Yeah, she's a little tough.
She's
cookie.
a firecracker
Yeah,
for a little lady. She comes out that back door screaming.
What the fuck are you doing?
There's a few times of that in my childhood. I'll never forget my good friend's mom coming out in her bra in the winter because we were trying to cut down a tree that was in our sledding path. We had a good
Was it
tree.
with your saw?
No, this was before the saw. We were actually using a rock, and we tried to
like cavemen. We're just gonna knock this down.
We were just chipping at the bottom of it and pushing on it. And first she hangs out the window and in Italian screams something at us. And
but this is funny because that family, the parents spoke Italian to each other but never taught the kids. So like, what fucking assholes?
No, I mean, I don't think the kids were too inclined to learn either. And
but
everyone
it's like,
they
let's
would
just
go
have
to
a secret language without them.
No, I think it was more that they would go to Italy and all of their family spoke English. So like, it was just not necessary.
Yeah. All right, so she's first yelling, screaming, but you don't see her tits yet.
Well, she was hanging out the bathroom window, like.
And what's he mocking her?
No, Christopher Columbo, or something like that, like idiot, is basically what it. And then he said to go to hell.
Oh my god!
And that's when she came out and it was one of those things where it was partially my idea, or at least I was helping enabling cutting the tree down. And
as an accomplice.
Yeah, and.
So she's in her bra?
Yeah, she comes out, and I don't remember hitting him, but I remember going home and him maybe getting dragged into the house
and beaten.
Yeah,
maybe not beaten. She probably slapped him.
We were 90s kids. We didn't get beaten like our parents did.
You just got smacked once and told someone was gonna put their foot up your ass, and that was pretty much enough.
But still one of those classics of it.
Well, he's she's not dressed. She's not going to come out here, mouth it off, I got my friend here, I'm going to fucking test this. She's not going to hit me in front of my friend.
There was always that, awkward,
you think I won't beat you in front of your friend? You're fucking wrong.
Or, different family, but, kids' mom and dad having, the, argument with just, the eyebrows raised. But not even, just, they're not even, really yelling. They're just, obviously, turmoil. It was just always that, find a corner and just stare at it,
Yeah, I'm not here. Well, yeah, that's the kids. My mom always would say, don't you ever, ask me if someone could come over in front of, you never, ask your mom, oh, can so-and-so stay over? Because then the answer is yes, whether they want them or over or not. So, I fucked up that one. Someone was like, don't you ever, put me on the spot. And another thing my mom always said was my sister would, be like, oh, so-and-so offered me to, a ride home, but I said you were coming to pick me up. My mom was like, don't you ever turn down Meals or Wheels. Anyone is offering you food or a ride that I don't have to fucking provide you, you better fucking take them up on that shit. I don't want to hear that somebody's mom on the way home was offering you a ride. You said no. So Meals and Wheels, just fucking hand out, mother. Oh my god. James Pina's still watching.
I think he was our full-time watcher.
I think you're our number one fucking listener. Can we get them to go into overtime? I'll reload the bowl. Oh, Tom Dwyer, let's just fucking FaceTime or something.
He's a top fan. Is that a top fan of you or of me? Because I don't use Facebook.
No, he's a top fan of you, baby, of course. No,
Yeah,
he's a top fan of Govs. You can't even be a top fan of me, I don't think.
It shows how much I use social media. Like I
He
said,
doesn't even like my stuff. He's like, we're in 3 pictures together on the internet. It's all right. I pride myself that we don't have to post, like, I don't post my wedding pictures every other fucking day.
That, and I already wasn't like that, and then I found an article that was like, the insecure relationships post more, and I was like, see, like.
Exactly, I told you, I love you, never posting about you ever.
I could tell you that I liked your meme you reposted in person, because you probably posted it sitting next to me.
Because you probably showed me and laughed out loud before you fucking hit post.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. But, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe it's an hour already. Tom Dwyer, we'll probably do this next Friday, right? I mean, I think so. We'll probably do Friday, 8 o'clock. Quarantine Life is 2 o'clock every day, different GovsRadio host. But since my husband works during the day and I'm working during the day remotely, we asked if we could do Friday nights. Everyone's stuck home. So thank you guys so much for chilling with us. We got some stories out. Hopefully you're going to go whittle a bar of soap. Don't cut your hand off because the ER is not a good place to be right now. Self-soothe, wash your hands. Anything you want to say, babe?
Yeah, you'll know if you have coronavirus. Stop going to the hospital with just like minor symptoms. It's clogging everything up. Like you can go and get tested.
And you're going to get worse. You're going to get sick.
You could go and get tested without, actually going to the hospital.
Yeah, you just go to McDonald's.
Paranoia is the problem. We all just need to be safe and wash your hands.
And love each other. Even though we can't hug and see each other doesn't mean you shouldn't be checking up on the people that you love. It means a lot. Everybody just saying, hey, how are you? It fucking makes my day.
I've had phone calls with some of my friends that like guys that are like myself that aren't,
Yeah, they're not calling people.
We're not calling each other and chatting, and we have called and chatted, just
chit-chatted. Because we're all, we're human and we need that kind of connection. So thank you guys so much for being here with us. I think we're going to wrap it up. We got till 9:05 until they legitimately cut us off. But we're going to wrap it up, guys. Like I said, James DeFlippo, Bonnie Scalisi, Robin DeVito, my Aunt Patty, Joan Krupe, Asher, Taz the Residential Artist, Gina, Renee is watching. We fucking love you guys. We're going to see you soon. And stay tuned. Glenn's birthday's on Monday. I'm going to try to do some sort of Zoom speed dating thing.
We're going to say, not the Zoom. We're going to individually kind of do like speed dating between our friends, so you end up actually getting to have a individual conversation with everybody that was there, not necessarily just like a group chat where you're waiting to talk the whole time.
Yeah, so instead of 15 people on the screen, we're going to have some sort of like list going where like me and Glenn will be talking to our one friend Olivia and Nate. They're a couple. Then they'll zoom over to Gina and Bobo. We'll be talking to Olivia and Nate. Me and Glenn will talk to Kayla and Johnny. And then Johnny and Kayla will talk to... It's going to be a whole little round robin. We're going to perfect it.
We're going to, maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're turning fucking 30, baby. And I'm so fucking... I'm honestly really happy I turned 30 in February. I'm so glad that we didn't have, like, this all-out bash. Because he was asking me, like, what do you want to do, babe? I'll do anything for you. And I was like, I really don't want to do anything.
And for the first time ever, we were planning on seeing Tool at Nassau Coliseum on the 25th.
Yep.
But, we always buy our tickets way in advance for everything, and I didn't.
Yeah, something spoke to us on that
one. Before Corona, it was just,
it wasn't in the stars. But other good things are coming out of this, guys. We're trying to see the silver lining. We don't have kids. If you do have kids, hey, this is time you get to spend with them. Teach them to whittle a bar of soap. There is positives of everything. If you're home alone, hey, you get to be home alone and take time to yourself. Hey,
maybe homeschool should be what do your parents know how to do real well?
Exactly. Exactly. If you're cooking, my cousin Keith, his wife Peggy, she's got her kids baking all the time. That was before the quarantine. She's got her little girls. They have the little stand where they could stand with her in the kitchen and they bake with her because she's a baker. So like Glenn said, it doesn't have to necessarily just be arithmetic. Whatever you're good at.
And, I know that my parents always said that they wouldn't have been able to teach me a lot of my homework.
Oh yeah, at 4th grade, my mom tapped out, and they also changed long division when we were in remember in 2nd grade they were if you know anything, don't teach. They're we're changing math.
Divide.
It's a whole.
It's just like cursive. They don't even teach the kids cursive anymore. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's fucking retarded. I shouldn't say that.
No, they should just type because how many times you written on paper other than just scrap notes?
But I write in cursive.
Yeah, my father has the nicest cursive handwriting I've